Welcome to News9 Mediaverse, and you are watching On Point. And as usual, I am going to take you through 9 on points. But let's talk about the first. The first on point. Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh's inauguration of an amusement park sparked a social media row. A lot of people were saying, writing on YouTube, that is this the way Manipur will come to normalcy? Other people were saying, what's wrong with an amusement park? So there were two views. One view, there's nothing wrong with an amusement park. People have right to come back to a normal life. And others said, well, he could have spent more time in doing other things to bring back normalcy in Manipur. So the first on point, there is nothing wrong in an amusement park if you ask me. There is nothing wrong. And there is nothing wrong to enjoy an amusement park. Biren Singh, when he inaugurated an amusement park, he ended up sparking a social media row. CM said more amusement parks will be opened. It amused none on social media. So now first let's listen in to the bite of the Chief Minister.
Particularly Manipur is insurgency affected areas. Our people are very unfortunate. They are not having any time for recreation, place and time. So taking all this into account, this BJP-led government in Manipur under the financial funding and help from the Union Ministry, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, so we started it establishing. And now, fortunately, we are inaugurating, and the summer season is coming. Our people will not go and spend it outside now. They can bring their families, their children, and they can enjoy here. So that is the happiness.
One small addition of this.
Wait. Not only this. This is in the Imphal East. We also already open in 7 districts, hill 7 districts, around one small amusement park of around 7 crore each. And we are also providing to the hill areas also. And we are also now thinking to take up some more projects in different districts.
So no pun intended. I mean to say every person has right to amuse itself. Even in insurgency hit areas, people go out, they have fun. But this had another effect. People were amused. People felt maybe this could have been some sort of a low profile exercise. Some people felt it shouldn't have been there. Very polarized view on social media was there. One felt it was correct, other felt it was not correct, one felt it was politically incorrect, the other was not amused at all. So let me go to my input editor Brijesh Pandey and ask him, were you amused by it?
Well, definitely not, because in politics as in life, 90% of the things matters on timing. What is the timing of an amusement park? Had it been a normal Manipur where situation is far less draconian than it is right now, then I would have said that it's a very good move on the part of the state government to open an amusement park, and more so open an amusement park in 7 more districts so that kids can come and enjoy themselves, given the kind of harrowing experience they must be having, their family must be undergoing in the last 11 months. But right now, as Manipur is grappling with perhaps one of the unprecedented crises it has in the last 11 months, amusement park may be amusing to the person who has constructed it or the person who is inaugurating it, but to the vast majority who is still trying to come to terms with life after the kind of violence it has seen, its loved one either being killed or one has to be displaced, will definitely not find it amusing.
In social media, Brijesh, a lot of people had a lot of things to say. I really don't want to get into those comments because they're highly polarizing comments. But I also have one point to make, not as an anchor, but as a journalist. I feel these bites, these places become messaging tools. For some it might be a correct message, but for other section it might be incorrect message. I am 100% sure that this will run into a messaging issue, because messaging issue, it's like building up a narrative. you can create 2 points of arguments saying no, why is he doing it? There is no normalcy. I mean, so the counter argument is yes, there is no normalcy, but you can create pods of normal areas where people can, be themselves. It's like in alternative reality. It's like films in 60s and 70s. You could just leave your life outside and enjoy the hero. So it's like that. It works at multiple levels. But I would say that in Mizoram, it's a different ball game. I feel it's still raw. It's not a resolved issue. It's still raw.
See, Kartikeya, one thing is there that you may want to go for an alternate reality when you are living in a strife-torn area that has been documented by eminent scholars, and how people start perceiving reality in a completely different way just to escape from the mental torture or the day-to-day tragic encounters
that I
you
agree.
have.
That I agree.
See, the mind
the
is
word is cathartic.
Cathartic. So the point is that you can go through these cathartic experiences, but the fact of the matter is also that for a state which is grappling with such an intense factionalism between the two ethnicity, which is Kuki and Maitai, then there is an NRC issue, then there is, as retired Justice Geeta Mittal submitted a couple of days before in the Supreme Court, where she called it that it has gone from struggle to armed struggle, where the house of DC is not safe, where JCO is not safe, where additional SP is abducted and then later on returned. These are the far more pressing issues, and until and unless you work on twin prong strategy, which is a massive crackdown on these kind of elements which are not letting society to turn back to normalcy, and also working on these kind of amusement park which can provide a let out, some sort of release from frustration, then it's a very welcome move. But unfortunately, only one track is happening, where you want to open an amusement park, where you honestly think that anybody is going to come and enjoy this amusement park.
I'm also joined by Misao. Misao, what's your view on this?
Yes, thank you, Kartikeya, for the show once again. It's one way. It's like a comedy when the entire state and the peoples are grappling with the whole situation. When thousands of peoples are like struggling to have even a meal for a day. You are introducing amusement park and that also only for one particular community is something which needs to be condemned. Also, like which is hard to accept by the other community, because the priority now is to rebuild Manipur. So for rebuilding Manipur, I don't think amusement park is one important step which one needs to take at this moment. So I would say at this present juncture, we need at least who had a bandwidth, who can also understand the feelings and sentiments of all the people, because Manipur, everybody knows, is a place of highly polarized on the ethnic lines. And when you are introducing only for one particular community, imagine we have already said that the whole population of the Kukis from Imphal Valley has been like chased out, and then there's no way that the people from this particular community can go and enjoy the amusement park in that particular place. Is something which is funny, at the same time it's something which is very unbecoming from such a responsible person. At the same time, forget about the amusement park. Just recently, one of the most recent remarks of the CM, referring to the Kuki community as like monkey. He even literally used the word monkey, which in Manipuri it's called zong. So he literally termed the Kuki community as monkey, and which I don't think he is he's in that whole sense of rebuilding Manipur. Rather, he is so good in feeling the present crisis by even terming those community as monkeys. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Let me be the devil's advocate.
Let
me be the devil's advocate here. People do have the right to chill out, You can have a Dharavi in Mumbai and you can have the most expensive 5-star hotel. We have slums in India, but we have other important places of expense to go to. I think two things can happen simultaneously. I know it sounds politically incorrect. Let me be the devil's advocate here. Let me put a different view. It sounds politically inaccurate. But the fact of the matter is that people do have the right to entertain themselves. It's like saying, आप फिल्म नहीं देख सकते मणिपुर में. I'm just giving the other point of view. Why? Film to dekh sakte hain. There's a problem in Kashmir, but the film halls are being open. I'm being a devil's advocate, Misa.
That's true. That's true, Kartikeya. Everybody has the right to like enjoy life in the fullest. What I'm saying is like, I mean, look at the context and the situation that we are in. I'm not against any kind of development that's taking place, but when you are doing all these things, it should be also part of rebuilding Manipur. And when you are introducing all these kind of facilities in Infa, why don't you do those facilities in the hills, in the place where these people, especially thousands of people who are displaced from their hometown, from their original villages, why don't you also introduce such things in the other community? And then it would be fair enough from the part of the government, because if they strongly believe government of Manipur is the government of the entire community, then there should be fair treatment, there should be certain level of justice for all the community. And unless you do that, I mean, that's one-sided, and one-sided step taken by any kind of people or any government, I think will never serve a purpose in the future. What I'm saying is like, I mean, at this present juncture, rebuilding Manipur is something which is very important. And any step that you took has to be a step towards rebuilding Manipur. And unless you do that, it doesn't make sense. That's your right, and I also have the right. Then why that right is not reaching to me is the big question.
Okay, it's just a is it Brijesh? It just comes across as an insensitive thing. Is that the larger issue? You know, nothing wrong in opening an amusement park. Just looks insensitive at that point of time.
It definitely looks insensitive, Kartikeya, because the thing is that it's not a very happy time, or Manipur is not passing through a very happy moment. And the point is that I would have hailed this as a good move. You know, had the situation improved, say a 40 or 50%, where we would see a massive crackdown on you know, arms which have been looted, and situation returning to normalcy. But it is not, and that is the reason why you know, this situation, this comes across as insensitive. You know, whatever the intention of the government may be, but this definitely is not coming across as very sensitive, very prudent also. I think because, you know, both the communities, you know, have been very critical of the way entire situation is being held, be it Kuki or Meitei, for different reasons. Of course, they also will not be very happy with the opening of amusement park per se.
Really? Do you feel that you know, it has to be looked from a communitarian point of view?
No, I'm saying that irrespective of whichever community you find it, because, you know, it's not like one community has suffered losses. Both communities have suffered losses. Both communities have seen their loved one dead. Both communities are not now are forced to be part of an armed struggle between the two ethnicities. So now, you know, both are suffering. And, you know, if you're suffering, if you're grieving, if you don't find the situation to a normal self where, you know, your kids can go to school without the fear of any kind of attack, or your kids can, you know, be part of a normal lifestyle. If that is not happening, you know, you would not find this entire thing amusing.
You know, I also feel one thing. That is why, you know, if you look at the larger fray of things, that is why I didn't say why did he do that, why didn't he do that. The idea of this conversation was amusement park in Manipur sparked social media row. I am reporting verbatim what has happened. You know, this is not a show in which I have taken a position. Generally, I take a position in my show, but in this position, I have not taken a stand. I feel that, you know, a particular section of the Manipuri society might feel very, very aggrieved about it, but the other section of the society might feel it's okay. You know, something has to come to normal. Misao, are you there?
Yep.
So,
yep,
you know, Misao, other section of the society can also say, well, it's okay. They also have the right to do it.
Yeah, it's completely okay. What I'm saying is like priority is some government has to also learn how to prioritize things. Like, what is priority at this moment is the big question. Is amusement park a priority at this moment, or rebuilding Manipur a priority? Now, interestingly, when the Kuki community cannot access the airport, now the CM is introducing chopper service to Tamenglong and Ukru, and because for them, accessing Manipur airport is not such a problem, but for the Kuki community, accessing airport is a big issue. Now, the government never thinks about the people who are struggling for this, accessing the airport, rather than reducing those airports for the people who are struggling, but they are also acting differently, which means the discrimination level, the bias treatment toward this particular community has been like perpetuated by all this kind of action. Therefore, like I would also call out to Honorable CM. Now, I think learn how to prioritize and work upon that so that Manipur can also limp back into normalcy. Unless we learn to do that.
I think you have put it very well. I think you have put it very well. But I would say at the end of it, and it's not mandatory for every anchor to sum up everything, but I would say definitely people have the right, people have the right to go, break the shackles of that mundaneness. But I would definitely say that a section would definitely see it from a different perspective, but then it's an open world, people have right to view. But I hope, the people come to amusement park, they don't become an amusement in themselves, I hope they serve the function for which the first one has been deployed.